All right, everyone, here we get started. We're going to get started for the textbook project, hopefully. I may have to go back and add closed captioning to these videos because I noticed that there's a lot of background noise, even though there's not actually a lot of noise around me at this moment, other than my dogs making noise. So I'll go back and closed caption them so they're a little bit easier to understand. All right, so we're going to create a table. When you create a table in Excel, you have to so you want to manage and analyze the data that's in that table, and you want it to kind of be independent from the rest of the data that's in the worksheet. So there's a couple of advantages to actually creating a table. You can get automatic expansion of the table so that you can accommodate more data. Your header rows are going to stay out the top so you can see them when you're scrolling. It's easy to reformat or recolor by using banded rows or columns. You can filter, and there's actually a built-in filter and sort functionality. It does automatic fill, so if you create a new column, it automatically sets everything up the way it's supposed to. Or you can actually put in a calculated field. It's pretty easy to access structured references, and I'm going to show you what those are as we go along. And you can do automatic adjustment of associated charts and range that are linked to that table. All right. So to format and arrange as a table, the easiest way to create a table is to do a table style. And they're just really quick, and they make it a lot easier for you to set it up where it's going to be readable and usable. So you have table styles that you can actually add to a range. You can create a table before or after entering column headings and data. Most of your automatic applied styles are going to have banded rows, and that's just a row that's highlighted in some way. We've actually put a couple of banded rows and things before. Like I said, it usually does every other row, so it just makes it easier to kind of separate the information and read it. So, to start off with, we're going to select the range that's going to be the table. So I'm going to start in A8, and I'm going to drag down to F20. All right. And then once you have the area that's going to become the table selected, you can go up to the top on the home ribbon here and click Format as a Table. And in that list, we're going to choose one of these options that's preset. So I'm going to go down into the medium options, and I'm going to look for one that says blue, table style medium 14, which is this one, and I'm going to click it. All right, so what it's going to do is it's going to double check to make sure that you have the range selected, which I do. And then the other thing you always want to double check is to make sure that this table box is checked here so that if you have headers, they'll show up. If not, you're going to get these things that's a column, and it's just going to be a big mess. So that's very important that it's checked. I'm going to hit OK, and now it's been converted to a table. All right. And to deselect it, you can click outside. Now you'll notice that the difference here, you have some arrows up here. These have your sort and filter functionality to them, and we'll go through what those do as we move along. You can change column widths and heights in here just like you did everything else. So for instance, I'm going to move over to column F. You see how much space there's here? It would be better to do a word wrap. I'm going to wrap the text here and make sure to to kind of narrow that column. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to change the column width here to 13. All right, put it down to 13. And then I'm going to select F8 where that heading title is here. And I'm going to click Wrap Text. Now, in order for you to be able to see it, I have to change the row height here too. So I'm going to change row 8 to 30. Best I can. And now you can see I have a little bit less space in that particular column. And so those are the types of things you're going to have to think about when you're trying to make sure that it looks right. All right, so whenever you click into this table, you get a contextual tab up here at the top. So if it's active, it should show up, and it gives you design options for your table. All right, so one of the things you can do over here on the the left-hand side of the screen on the ribbon, you can actually name the table. So I'm going to name it Managers by clicking in this box and typing the word Managers. All right. And then one of the nice things about these tables is that sometimes when you have a lot of information, it's really easy to put in duplicates. So you have the ability to remove duplicates fairly easily. So up here on this design tab, you have a remove duplicates button. All right, if you click it, you can tell it what to do. If it's not showing that all these boxes are checked, you would click the select all to select all of the columns. And then once you have it selected, you hit OK. And anything that's a duplicate, it's going to tell you that it's found and it's removed it. So we actually had a duplicate in that table, and now it's gone. All right. I'm going to click OK, and you notice it gets rid of that extra additional column. So it will reformat it as you go. So I'm going to enter a new record. So I'm going to come down here to A20. Actually, I'm going to put a couple in here. And the nice thing about the way these tables are set up is if you put a new record in, it will automatically do the formatting for you. So I'm going to start typing in the information that's here. And it might autofill some of the things for you. And you can see it already picked up the formatting when I started entering information, which is good, which is what you want it to do. And I have one more thing that I missed. All right, and we can go down to the next column, or next row, and put in the next set of information. So it will automatically format it if you add in new records. And the information I'm adding is actually in the textbook as you go along. Oops, I missed a column. I am not doing well this morning. This is what happens when you get up really early in the morning to do this stuff. All right, that's correct. Plainfield, City Money Market. Make sure I put the numbers in correctly. Alright, so I've added 3 new records just that easily to my table. Alright. You can also add new columns. Those are pretty easy to add, and it will also pick up the formatting when you do that as well. So I'm going to move over to column G. I'm going to change the width of column G to 13. All right. And I'm going to enter in a column title. It's going to be rating. You can see the formatting pop into place. Column H, I'm going to change to 13. And that title will be Loan Commission. And then column I, I'm going to change to 13. Maybe. I'm having problems. Alright, I think I got it. And this one will be New Money Commission. Alright, so 3 new columns just like that. We're going to take, let's see, the title that's here, and we're going to center it across the selection. So to do that, I'm going to select A7 through, oops, not move it. Put the mouse in the center of the cell. I'm going to go A7 through I7. All right, and when I've got it selected, I'm going to right click. So I get my shortcut menu, and I'm going to go down to Format Cells. And I'm going to click the Alignment tab. And where the horizontal button is, I'm going to do Center Across Selection as my option. All right, and then I'll click OK, and that will be centered across the selection. And then I'm going to change the row height on 7 to 30. All right. And then I'm going to change the font size to 22. So I'm going to bump it up here quite a bit. All right, so that's how you create the table and add columns and rows to it and add new records. And the next video will be doing we'll be using a lookup table. So, there we go.